The Yamaha R1, you've got to feel a little bit sorry for Yamaha. They kind of had the rug pulled from under their feet. Back in 2009, they built an awesome bike. It had the cross-plane crank from their YZR-M1 MotoGP bike, and they were really kind of the first people to properly give us what their MotoGP bike had in a road bike. God knows Honda has talked about it for long enough, but where's my V5? Fast forward metaphorically to now, and we've got the 2015 Yamaha R1, and that thing, that promises to be a little bit special. We went out to Eastern Creek in Australia to the launch, just to kind of see what it was all about and get our first go. The technology they've poured into it is mind-blowing. You know, I know that we're used to seeing the new BMW, the new Ducati with all this technology on it, but Yamaha's done it again. I'll tell you what, one interesting thing. Yamaha, 90% of the electronics on the new R1 are developed by Yamaha themselves. And that's a pretty bold move. If it pays off, it's going to make them look awesome. If it doesn't pay off, it's going to make them look a bit stupid. The new Yamaha comes in two flavors, the standard R1 and the R1M. Standard R1's 15 grand. The R1M's a couple of grand more than that. The R1M has got the electronic racing suspension. But the R1's not just about the clever circuit boards and all the wizardry in those little black boxes. There's some good old-fashioned engineering gone in there to drop weight down to 199 kilos and bring power up to the magical 200 PS, which is kind of where everyone's at the moment. After a long old day of riding, I'm pretty blown away by the Yamaha. Early sessions out, it was real damp, moist, horrible, kind of April British Superbike Championship conditions, you know, that kind of half and half, horrible, is it, isn't it? And it was annoying because all we wanted to do was go and, you know, give it 10 shades of on the straights, but you were kind of tiptoeing around. It actually gave us a real good insight into how easy the R1 is to ride, which is a nice thing. You know, in those conditions, if you've got a bike that you're happy not just to ride around the track on, but to start pushing and start getting a bit of lean angle, start getting your knee down a few times, even in the damp on road tyres, you know you've got a good bike and you know you've got a good chassis. And the R1 was just that, you know, little by little, build up, lap after lap. Fully eventually, sun came out, dried up, and that was it. That was the bit we were waiting for. Eastern Creek Raceway, Australian sunshine, and the new R1. And it did not disappoint. The R1 chassis, hand on heart, I think it's the best of the current crop of 1000cc supersport bikes. The best thing about the R1 chassis is it wanted to go fast. You know, the harder and harder you pushed it, the more it seemed to encourage you. It was like egging you on the whole time, going, go on, a bit faster, let the brakes off, go on. All in all, the big question, is it better than the Ducati? Is it better than the BMW? It's a hard one to answer, especially in isolation like that. You know, when you've not ridden them back to back, you know, obviously the last one you've got on feels amazing because that is the level of these bikes these days. So without a group test, it's going to be hard to say. I'm gonna go out there and say the chassis is definitely better and the traction control is the best I've felt. Those are the two bits that, in my opinion, are clear. We've ridden 600s and gone, oh, imagine if something this light and nimble had the power of 1000. Well, ta-da, Yamaha has done it. If you can get a ride on one, you will not be disappointed.